waiting for his stream to pop up.
Yeah, I'm not seeing it.
Oh, there it goes. Also, we're not muted.
Hey, what's up, guys? You guys doing all right tonight?
Hello.
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 You know what I didn't open out of everything for this bullshit? My stream chat. How about that?
Well, I suppose
Always
I should
gonna
host you.
forget something, you know. You know how it goes.
Oh man, I lowered my I lowered my camera to show my name and the badge, and my name on the screen stream doesn't cooperate.
No, it's like blocks
It's
you
like
out.
fuck you, fuck your titties, even though I see titties.
Is this? You think this should be categorized as IRL? Is there a podcast one?
There's a talk show.
Oh, talk show.
There we go. That's what I wanted.
Let's do talk shows. Oh, you piece of trash. There we go. Got it.
There you go.
Update.
There you go. This.
Oh, remind me next time. Thanks for the host, dude.
Are you trying to get invited to my next barbecue?
Ian, that's not how you wear a shirt.
I have to make sure the logo's in, otherwise it's a waste of money.
No, man, that's cool. It's all good. Just put your camera down a little bit. Just not right on your crotch. We're not running that kind of show. We're not running that kind of show, Ian. Okay. All right, guys. Well, it's our first podcast, hopefully of many. We'll see how it goes. We've done this before, so we'll see how this pans out. It's online, so hopefully we'll get it a little more often than our previous ones. Basically gonna start a podcast, talk about games and stuff. Mostly PC games because that's what we do, but we're also gonna do RPG stuff like D&D 5e stuff. We may do some console stuff if there's like a console game we're particularly interested in. Stuff like that. So.
Are you trying to get invited to my next barbecue?
Thanks for the host, Jiggly.
Yeah.
Anyway, so just in case you haven't met him or watched their streams or whatever, I got Jiggly with me. He's
up?
actually my brother-in-law, so I have to let him in. But you know, that's how it goes.
It's forced. It's forced.
We got our resident DM guy who loves to run D&D games, especially on Roll20. That's Tarnus, and his Twitch is actually Nefarious Tarnus, right, Tarnus? And I will do a shout out and put your channel in there so everybody can see it. And then we got Ian, who does not really stream, but he hangs out with us all the time. We know him in real life. Plays games with us all the time. Goes real hard in PoE mostly. But
Hard in the paint.
yeah, we still like him enough to have him on the show. So that's all of us. So let's get started, I guess, guys. So this week, well, the first segment we're going to start with is what we've been doing or playing for the previous week or whatnot. So, or the last time you saw us. So if we have a 2-week break, you know, etc. But this week, what have you guys been playing? Anybody been playing anything fun?
I mean, I tried playing PoE with Ian and his group. It did not last very long.
Well, the problem with Ian and his group, there's nothing wrong with them. They just go really hard. So if you're not going to stay up late and play
There's a
the
lot
hours,
wrong with us.
Well, no, the big issue I had is not like that because you can still like run around with them even though they're higher level. I don't think it really matters too much as long as you don't die.
Eventually.
They're just so fast that like because they know how to loot and what they need to look for.
sure.
So for players like me and you,
Nothing.
we're like, oh
Nothing.
shit, I think I need this, and you'll sit there and like look at the stats like we do in Diablo, and they're just already like 3 levels ahead of you now, and you're like, what? I'm so confused. And then like, where are you? We're waiting on you, and you're like, I don't even know how you got where you are, so it's gonna take me even longer.
So there's a flashback event happening right now, I think, and I think, I don't know anything about it because I'm not playing it. But Tarnus
Andy, tell John to open the portal.
Yeah, have Tarnus and Ian talk about it a little bit because they've been playing it a lot. So
What?
about the flashback event.
Oh god, I've been having way too much fun. I think I know I spent at least 24 hours playing this weekend. Just that alone. Then of course, finding out that bestiary isn't going to be in there anymore. Hooray!
I miss it already, dude.
Really?
No.
I've actually heard some really good ideas though.
Jesus.
Nice. That was
a
a nice
map.
idea.
That was
A map.
A unique map.
Yeah, the unique map, the Jurassic Park map.
Yikes.
We do have identical webcams, Puppy, but I am pulling theirs through Discord, so it's gonna look worse. So than mine, unfortunately. I don't know if there's gonna be a way we can fix that either. So okay, yeah. So just playing that flashback event. What is the flashback event about? Because I don't remember. It's like it has
It's
a bunch
just
of new.
flashbacks. So basically, all the maps have 3 additional set mods to each of them. I
Well,
think
it's
3 additional.
bestiary. It's
Bestiary
bestiary.
plus 3,
Yep.
which are
Okay.
just mods from the past. So there's Breach, the Beyond,
Anything
Abyss.
they've ever put out, basically.
Not anything, but most of it. Most of the fun ones. Any of the shit ones they don't have.
I gotcha.
Like, there's no Talisman League, which is unfortunate, but
That sounds cool.
also it's a Void League, so everything that you gain during the event is just gonna get deleted. So
Wait, seriously?
yeah. I feel like I've said this. Oh well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tarnus just realized that the last 72 hours of his life was a waste, but that's okay. Isn't that the same for most of us anyway? For whatever we play.
Yeah, that's just PoE.
I mean, yeah.
Once it goes to standard, it's
Except for
basically
RuneScape, shit's permanent. Ooh.
I mean,
know.
standard's technically permanent, but it might as well be void. No one plays that shit.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's just like playing hardcore on Diablo
Normal
3.
Diablo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So whatever. Cool.
Non-seasonal Diablo. Feels
I think I'm gonna give our buddy John and Jiggly the credit for this, but this week I've been playing, and last week even, we've been playing a lot of For the King.
Yeah, that's been fun.
Yeah, I originally bought it back when it like early access first came out. Played it for like 30 minutes, and then I was like, I'm done. I don't want to play this. It's not that exciting. But I think one night last week they were like, hey, you want to play some For the King? And I was like, yeah, sure. Like Jiggly really had to pull me in to get me to play it. But
I was like, you can AFK it.
Yeah,
You
he
can
was
play
like,
2 games
you
at
can
once.
play a
He was
different
like,
game. And so we played it. We only played for like an hour because I had to go to bed. But I got kind of hooked on it, and I've been playing it off and on ever since. Yeah, it definitely has, John. It definitely has come a long way since the alpha. So, but I've played it 3 times now. And I don't know about you guys, Jiggly, on your playthroughs.
We died on our one that we started before you started playing with us. Obviously, we still have the one that you're in, and then we started a second one, I think, and I don't think we got very far before we kind of gave up on it.
Gotcha.
Or maybe we didn't give up on it per se, but we definitely have not played it in a while.
I'm gonna switch and
and
show everyone what it kind of looks like. So while we're talking
Okay.
about it, but go ahead and you can continue talking.
Yeah, no, it's fun. I love the classes. The classes are pretty dope. And I like the unlock system they have, where you have to play the game to unlock everything. You don't actually have to buy anything.
Yeah,
Which is
it's
nice.
kind of like a roguelike.
Hold on, I'm gonna adjust my.
It's a roguelike RPG kind of with a party aspect on it, And so
Yeah, and turn-based Final Fantasy type like tactics kind of style mapping.
1 second.
Right?
Yeah.
It's fun.
Yeah.
It's definitely fun. The weapons control your skills essentially. That looks like not that game.
Yeah, it is For the King.
Oh,
Yeah,
Ian.
Oh, yeah, Ian.
Ian, you're screen sharing, by the way.
Yeah, you should turn that off.
Oh, I know.
You're like, this is PoE. Haha.
This is the best game.
Oh, this is the best game. Now you're a goat.
No, you're
So,
good.
but it's, what was I saying? Fuck, classes? Oh yeah, the weapons. So each time you equip a weapon, it's gonna have different abilities on it. different skills you can use in the combat, and I like the attack style of the game is basically a rolling system where you have percentile to land a quote unquote rune, and depending on what your main stat is with said gear, essentially, it'll change your percentile to hit. And some creatures, the douchey ones, you require to hit 100% and get a perfect to even touch them.
Yep.
And so on like a lot of John's characters, since he plays the strength guys, these like two-handers, a lot of the rolls are like 3 to 5 or 3 to 6 to hit. So it's kind of rough on that end. But I mean, the game's really fun. You'll get some neat gear, and you'll definitely have some funny run-ins with some of the characters they made for the game. And the names are pretty hilarious too.
Yeah, that's a roguelike. So your party basically only has so many deaths, which you can earn back by doing stuff in the world and whatever. But once you die, the maximum number of deaths, and like say you don't pick up any more lives, then the game you got to start over. So I basically have played it 3 times. The first time I got like 40, like day 5 or like 40 or 50 turns in, and then the second time I got like 70 turns in, and I got in the tower, the final tower of the game, and got to the second to last boss before I died, which really sucks. And the third one I haven't finished playing through yet, but I'm hoping to beat the game. But it's really fun, and like Jiggly said, you unlock a lot of things as you play, which is cool. And so I recommend it. It's pretty good. It's $20 on Steam. It's called For the King.
It's fucking worth.
I think it's worth it. Especially even if I only ever played the three times, I think it was worth it. I mean, I put some hours into it. I think I have to go look at my Steam, but I think I have over 20, which isn't bad.
And it's definitely one of those games, and the game even tells you this when you first launch it. You do not expect to beat that game your first time playing it. Like, you almost cannot expect to do that.
Yeah, you learn some tricks along the way the first playthrough, and it definitely helps a lot once you do that.
For sure.
So no spoilers there, but it's pretty cool. So
yeah, just don't go into it thinking, man, this game's easy, because it's definitely gonna get harder. Like, it'll surprise you with some shit sometimes.
Yeah, for sure.
But
and then, does anybody else have anything they played this week?
Old school RuneScape, my dude.
Oh my god. Okay, you want to tell us about it?
Actually, they did just release a new free-to-play boss. It's actually the first free-to-play boss. Oh no, it's not the first free-to-play one, but it's the first in a long time for sure, because they usually don't update free-to-play. He's a moss giant boss, so you have to kill moss giants to get the key, which is, I think, like one of the top 5 hardest things in free-to-play to kill is a moss giant, which isn't saying much because they're fucking easy as shit. It requires level 40-ish combat stats across the board, so basically you want to be in full rune. And he has a interesting, I'm not going to spoil it, but he definitely has an interesting mechanic that goes along with it that has to do with requiring a woodcutting axe.
Yeah. Wow, that's weird, but cool.
His special drop is, and it works for free to play, is a staff, and it has a chance of 1 out of 15 casts that require a nature rune. It will not consume the nature rune, essentially. It's really good for high alching. Basically, every 15 alks, you'll get a free alk, which for XP alking is usually the number 1 XP gain rate in the game. So it's been kind of cool. Other than that, the staff doesn't really give much of a bonus. I think it's the equivalent of a lava battle staff, which you can't get in free to play, so it's nice for them. But in the members world, it's pretty fucking weak outside of that. It's really only good for high alching.
Cool.
Other than that, that's pretty much the only thing I know that's been happening in this game. I know they have a poll going on right now, but it was mostly for that and for feedback for that. So, yeah.
Cool. Yeah, playing that old school RuneScape. I haven't played in forever.
Flashing to guards.
Mostly because I hate my life if I play it. But, anyways, and then the other game I've been playing this past week is BattleTech, which just released last week, I believe it was. It's been catching a little flack for being slow-paced. It is a turn-based game made by the same people who did the Shadowrun stuff. So if you played any of the Shadowrun games, it's the same company. Harebrained Schemes. I think it's really fun. I understand that it is kind of slow, but if you, to be honest with you, the player base, assuming you ever played the tabletop, you would think it's just fine, right? Because
Oh yeah, for sure.
the tabletop, you gotta roll the dice, resolve all your
Takes forever.
hits, blah blah blah. So it's like it's almost no different in speed to me, and I like it. I think it's pretty good. The story is really good. It has like a little like backstory builder before you start the game. So, and then when you're in the game, it pulls those backstory those choices you made for your backstory up, and so it's pretty cool. But I don't know. I think it's cool. It's $40, so I think for the diehard BattleTech fans, you should definitely grab it. Or anybody who really likes a tactical, turn-based game, I think you should grab it. But maybe for everybody else who's just looking at something to play, maybe wait till it goes on sale. Especially because it is that slower style turn-based. That's not necessarily for everyone, but I think it's really good. I'm having a lot of fun with it. The star map's really cool. It's just pretty neat. You have to manage your company and like make sure you get enough money and stuff coming in, so more than going out, etc. So it's really cool. So that's
It looks fun. I don't own it, but it definitely looks fun.
Yeah. We played a little bit of the free to play MMO, which is always fun to just horse around in. But other than that, I haven't got a lot of BattleTech stuff since like back in the MechWarrior 4 and Mech Commander 2 days, which has been a long time. So it's
Mech
pretty.
Warrior 2.
Yeah, Mech Commander 2, man. So I don't know. I like it because I haven't had a new MechWarrior game to play in a while, or BattleTech basically. So
Now you're making me want to go back to the battle pods.
yes. Oh man, you remember those in the arcade days?
I know we have them just like 10 miles from my house.
Oh, you do have some?
We have, yeah, I think we have 24.
Man, that's crazy. That's pretty cool though. Yeah. So, anyways, it's a cool game. You should definitely check it out if that's up your alley. All right. So I think we'll go into the new releases for next week. We got quite a few of them, but there's only a couple we're going to talk about, I think, tonight. The first thing that I want to do is bring up the game list so you can kind of see what's coming out. We got a game coming out tomorrow. It's also coming out on the PC, and I don't know how to say the name of it. I'm probably going to butcher it. Subaria? Does that sound like
No,
right?
it's Slovakia. It's a European nation.
It's definitely not Slovakia, okay? It's not a it looks kind of neat. It's like a action puzzler that you don't have like a weapon or anything. You use like the environment against itself. It looks pretty neat. I was actually, after I watched it, I at first didn't think I was going to be interested in it, but after I watched it, it looks kind of cool. Finding a puzzle adventure game that's good. It's rare, I think. But I probably won't spend the money on it because it's I think it's $20 for it. But I think if it ever goes on sale, I might pick it up because it looks kind of neat. It's just kind of a different style puzzler, top-down puzzle game, so it's kind of cool. I changed it to podcast, Jiggly.
It says Elite Dangerous still. I just refreshed it. Weird.
Let me just make sure, but I think it's good. Dashboard. Yeah,
okay.
it's on talk shows actually.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Just making sure.
Oh, hold on. Couldn't update your title or game. Please regenerate a token. I bet you. Does it also not say Up and Smoke Podcast 1?
It does not.
Yeah, fuck me. Okay. One second. Can you, I don't know, can you change it if you're modded?
I'm sure I can, but I don't know how.
Yeah, talk shows. Okay, yeah, that's fine. I'll try to fix it in a second. All right. So then we got a couple other things coming out throughout the week. Let me switch back to that so you can see it. May 10th, we got a sweet Switch game, Immortal Redneck. We didn't look that one up because we weren't very interested in it. It's also on the Switch.
I've looked it up. It looks awful.
Tarnus is like, nah, I'm not in.
Take Doom and make it like a shitty version of just the graphics look awful. Like some kid just started to do vectoring and 3D animation.
Okay, all right, cool. And
most Switch games.
well, what I was gonna say is if you want something that's like Doom, with shitty graphics, you could just buy Doom on the Switch. So there you go.
Pretty much.
So don't worry about it. Let me see. I just manually updated on Twitch, so that should hopefully fix it. Let me refresh the page to make sure. Mine still says I have so many windows open.
Nope.
It looks right? Okay.
It says up and it changed the name, but not the game.
Alright, no problem. Alright, yeah, so we didn't look at that one, but the one we did look at that kind of interests us on May 10th is called Laser League.
Yeah, that looks okay. Of the games that we looked at, that was probably probably one I would actually
Did
buy.
you watch some gameplay of it?
Yeah.
It seems pretty cool. It's like...
Yeah.
It
Did you
looks...
not play the early access for it?
No, I didn't.
Oh, am I the only one?
Yeah.
Well, if you did, that's cool.
Oh,
Yeah,
my
it's
bad.
cool.
Because we could definitely use your expertise on it.
Footage
if
that
that's
he
the
didn't
There is no
case.
expertise. You just want to go in and play it. There's
Alright.
no like getting good at it. I don't think.
Hold up.
Well, I mean,
let's watch
not
the
till it
trailer.
goes pro.
Let's watch the trailer.
Let's watch the trailer. I'm gonna grab a drink while the trailer runs.
All right.
I'm gonna grab some stuff too.
All right, here's
Or
the
at
trailer,
least
boys.
no one I played with was good. It just didn't seem like there was anyone good. It just seemed like a bunch of fucky playing.
I mean, yeah, even the gameplay trailer I watched seemed like it was a little bit not high IQ. I don't know.
I mean, there probably is. Just like everyone just seemed to be like playing it for fun when I was playing it. Cause it was like the open beta or whatever.
Oh, bitch! Drink my last Dr Pepper.
Their official trailer is kind of lacking. It literally showed like nothing.
Yeah,
I'm glad. I'm glad I
you
have a
might be better
gameplay
off-
trailer.
What, the PAX one? Or
No, I got a gameplay trailer. I'm just gonna post it.
you should probably watch the PAX gameplay.
No, you can shut your whore mouth.
Ugh,
Okay,
why don't you just play with my penis?
there we go. That's. I'll leave the gameplay trailer playing while we're going through this. So I don't know. I thought it looked pretty cool. I mean, it looks fast paced, but since Ian's actually played it, maybe he can comment on this.
Oh
stuff.
no, it totally is fast paced. Like the games go by super quick, especially if everyone's just playing to fuck around. Like if no one's actually trying hard, the game can take forever if everyone's just trying to win super hard and no one gives a shit. Or
Right.
Everyone gives like a shit. But if you're just playing for fun, like the games go by super quick because everyone's just diving into the lasers and dying. Awesome. It's the best.
Yeah, it looks real chaotic, which may be good or bad, but the classes look cool too. Like they had that.
Yeah. If you're
They
playing like 1v1s, the game's gonna take forever because it's just like you avoiding the other person the entire time. But if it's like a team play, it almost always goes quick because everyone just seems to like activate everything at once, and then everyone just sort of dies. It's
Well,
like,
yeah, because it's pretty cool. Because like they have different power ups that like they'll switch your color. So like if the object of the game is to kill the other team, and so you basically hit these little poles that make the walls into your color essentially, and then if the other team hits those walls, as you can see on here, then they die.
It's
Well,
like Tron.
yeah, it's like a
Kind of.
really crazy version though. But what's cool is there's like power-ups. There's power-ups that'll just change all the walls to your color, like swap. So if you're like winning, it'll swap it. You know, so
There's
that the
one
other
that's
team has them
legit
all.
game winning, and it switches your controls. That one. you
Oh
just
God,
lose.
yeah,
You
that'd be
instantly
terrible.
Lose every time.
But anyways, it also has some cool classes. Like it has one class that puts a line out, and like anybody in that line gets killed, which is cool. They got
Yeah,
the guy
so
who
the-
obviously has the melee attack, like weapon, which is neat.
The stun gun.
The
or
guy
whatever.
that which freezes you in place, so you might just get hit by a wall that way. So the
Yeah.
classes look kind of cool and unique. So I thought that was That was pretty cool.
Yeah, they're
Um,
pretty interesting. I wouldn't say that like any class is necessarily overpowered or stronger than the other. It's more just preference, which is really cool to see that there's no like, oh, everyone just plays this because it seems really strong. Or at least I didn't see that when I was playing.
Sure. Yeah, I don't know. I thought it'd be pretty fun to play, especially like.
It was super fun. Like
Yeah.
whenever it comes out, I'm
Is
probably
this-
gonna
is it
waste money on it.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask you. Is it super fun for $15?
For $15, I'm definitely just gonna.
It's hard to
like,
beat.
if
You know, it's a pretty low price for a game.
Yeah.
If you
Yeah.
go for the whole 1 hour for gameplay thing, you might actually struggle to reach the like 15 hours just because of how fast the games go.
Sure,
But,
but
I
still
mean,
a good time
If you're just playing
waster.
it like randomly, like oh I'm gonna play a few games here and there, you might eventually actually reach that 15 hours. For $15, it's totally worth it. It's a lot of fun.
Let's ask this question since every game needs to go through that ringer. Is it esports ready, Ian?
Is any game?
Okay, that's pretty true. All right, well, I think it looks pretty cool. $15. I mean, you can buy it right now. It's in early access technically, but obviously it comes out officially on the 10th. So either way, I mean, go check it out. It looks really cool. Has unique classes. The power-ups make the gameplay, obviously different, and so it looks pretty neat. And that's called Laser League. That's that game that we're looking at right now. So
One thing that I am a bit worried about with it though, is the open beta was in like January. So it's been a bit. I don't know how fast that whole.
I mean, true, but early access games in general. I mean, not open beta,
Yeah,
I guess,
that's-
but early
that's
access
true.
games. I mean, Conan
Yeah.
just came out today, and it's been a year since its release. So whatever. I mean, you take it with a grain of salt, I guess, depending, because
Look at
We've been-
DayZ.
we've been burned by a ton. Yeah, there you go. We've been burned by a ton of early access games for sure. So.
Look at Cube World. Rip.
Oh
Cube
yeah, that
World.
one just died.
What's
Went off
Cube
the
World?
face. Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
No,
Wipe
you know
it
what's
from your
funny?
mind.
He actually tweeted like 2-3 months ago.
Oh, no.
Yeah, no, he's still working on it. That's how bad it is. But he's again, it's a solo dude, so it's not like he's like
Yeah, well, that one was one we got burned on. So
Yeah,
that's
So
okay.
can we talk about a game that came out today?
We can. The only reason why I didn't put him there is because when we are doing this podcast stuff, we're gonna obviously talk up all the way until the next week. So we're gonna do the games on the 15th as well, which is when
No,
our
I'm
next
talking about one that
podcast is.
released today.
I know. That's what I'm saying. So in
Yeah.
theory, we would have already talked about it if we had a podcast
Right.
last week. But
Yeah.
but yeah,
Uh,
which one?
Two actually.
Because there's
that I
a
wanna
bunch
bring
came
up.
out today. So
I want to bring up two very notable ones. Conan Exiles
yeah, baby.
officially released today.
Yeah, I did, and I did mention that. So, what are you gonna say about it? I that's what I want to hear. I'm interested first in what you're gonna say.
Ah, man, I just hope the dick physics are still there.
Okay, so I don't think they got rid of that, but I was just wondering because we played when it first came out, early access.
hardcore.
Penis slider.
Yeah, it has a penis slider. Anybody who wants a penis slider? Sweet. Okay.
And titty slider. All right.
Let me turn this off. So
Can't leave out the titty.
And the ass.
all the above, right?
And the ass slider.
So yeah, Conan came out today. They made a lot of changes. So my advice is, because in the end we ended up stop playing it because it was like really buggy, blah blah. Obviously, all that's can happen in early access, so you can't necessarily blame the game for that entirely. But I think with all the changes they made, it's a really good game. I kind of want to throw a server up now that it's officially
Yeah,
launched
I know.
and play it some more.
I know you played a little bit, like a few months after we stopped playing after release because your dad hosted a server.
Yeah.
So I know you played that with them, and I don't know how good the game
Well,
was at that point.
even-
it definitely looked a lot less buggy.
Yeah, even then it was better. It was still buggy though. And then they implemented all these patches. There's like so many more monsters now. They did a bunch of balance changes. There's like a whole new area of the world in the north and stuff. It's like snow and stuff. So
Okay.
it's really cool. I kind of want to try it out at some point and play it again. But I've already purchased it. It is $40 for Conan Exiles.
Yeah,
so.
you only purchased like 100 of them, so.
Oh yeah, that was our first
To
really.
be fair.
That was one of our
Okay.
really big giveaways, first giveaways. So.
Funny story. That's how I met you guys.
Yeah, that's where we got TARDIS from actually.
I just randomly jumped in and you guys were playing Conan Exiles and you're like, hey, we're giving away a free game. I'm like, oh, sweet. And next, it's like, hey, you won. I was like, oh, sweet. Now I get a game to play.
Yeah, so and we ended up doing a lot that time. I think it was 20 games for Conan.
40. We gave away 40 copies.
Yeah, because I think I was like, okay, we get this many likes,
Yeah, it
so
was-
we're gonna boost it.
Yeah.
And
it
then I was like,
every,
this many
like,
shares.
yeah,
Yeah,
it was
so-
like 10 shares for a copy, for an extra copy given away. No, it was 5 shares for an extra copy, and it was like every like 15 or 20 likes. It was pretty like you did
Anyways.
a pretty good one, but we got pretty fucked on it. Or you,
Yeah.
I should say you got fucked on it.
Well, it was fun
It
to
was
do
work.
that though. It's
It was
fun to
we
do
definitely
that.
a lot of the people that we got are still playing with us.
Still
which is
hanging
great,
out
so.
at least, yeah. So, and that's cool, that the one regret I have about doing that was Steam blows dicks. If you buy too many keys at one time, it's like, hey, you bought too many keys. I'm sorry, you can't buy this many keys. And so, like, we were buying the keys as soon as it launched because that's the only time, because Steam doesn't let you
You
pre-purchase.
couldn't
sometimes.
pre-purchase,
Yeah.
yeah.
So I'm trying to buy keys and give people their codes, and it's like 2 hours after the game launched, and some people still didn't have their codes because I had to wait, And so a lot of people were pissed, and I was like, I can't do anything. It's Steam,
I mean, The servers weren't working for a full like 8 hours anyways.
Yeah,
so it
yeah.
didn't really matter.
But anyways, that was still fun, whatever.
Yeah.
So, but just FYI too, we are giving away a monitor June 1st. So anybody who is
It's okay,
watching,
I'm gonna win it. Don't worry about it.
yeah, anybody who is watching, go out
You gotta
far.
mention it's a 4K monitor.
It's a 4K monitor or equivalent for the same price.
Price,
Like if you
yeah.
want a bigger monitor with less hertz, because it's
yeah.
also 144 hertz, so
Yeah.
it's like a
Okay.
real top end gaming one.
27 inch, right?
And a 24 inch.
24 inch. Got it.
Yeah, and so essentially that's what we're giving away. But I also offered anybody who wants just like a big monitor with less hertz, same cost basically, then we could do that. So we'll just decide that when the winner gets it,
Yeah.
basically. But anyways, yep. So you can follow our Twitter, Instagram, or hop in Discord, or do all three to enter that contest. So
Each one is an inner, so.
yeah, each one's their own enter. So
Which is not on my Twitter accounts.
hey, I blocked all your dumb ones, by the way. I saw them still on there. I was like, nope, get these off here. Get these off. But anyway, so yeah, Conan did come out. So what was the other one, Ian?
The Destiny patch came out.
Oh boy, yeah.
Okay.
So wait, for the patch came out, but it's the
The
pre-patch.
expansion.
Or did the expansion actually came out today? Okay.
Yeah, Warman came out
Monthly.
today.
Okay.
Yeah, Humble Bundle Monthly is for $12. You get Destiny 2.
Ooh,
Yeah.
that's good. Good.
a
Good
good
time
deal.
to bring that up.
Good
yeah.
deal. Yeah.
Yeah, arguably the best time. Maybe. We'll see. We'll see.
So what do you have you even looked into the Warmind stuff?
I've looked into it because I'm on the Reddit, so I've looked into it and I've just seen everyone bitching about it.
Oh yeah.
Normal day.
I wonder why.
Normal day
This
in the
isn't what I
Destiny 2.
wanted. I'm gonna bitch.
Well, it's just I don't know. Everyone was
It's
expecting
Destiny.
Destiny 2 to be the continuation of Destiny 1, and it wasn't.
No.
Right.
So there's just so many
I
promises.
mean, the
that are
story's
written.
kind of there.
Yeah.
So what do you? I mean, what are people bitching about?
Well, I don't know. There's a lot of things.
Okay.
we could go down the list if you really wanted, David.
I was just wondering, is anything in particular, or
The primary bitch
same shit,
right
different
now,
day, or okay.
Like, it's just same shit, different day mostly. The primary bitch is just the fact that people are just expecting it to be not anything impressive, just like the first expansion was. But it just came out, so who the fuck knows? I haven't played it.
Yeah,
at all.
sure.
Did they ever renege on their? They released content, and then when they released DLC, they're like, "No, we're just gonna hide that content behind a DLC now." did they go back on that, or is it still?
That never happened.
Well, remember Destiny 2 and that first Nightfall or whatever. Like once the DLC came out, I heard that players couldn't get into it anymore. Remember?
That was just the content was hidden behind DLC. It wasn't hidden behind DLC. It was a part of the expansion. It's a weird thing.
Okay, so you can
so
still
it's-
do the original one before the DLC
can
was released.
Do all of them? You just oh wait no, it was the I don't remember how the fuck it worked. Something
Yeah.
like Nightfall was they changed the highest level or the minimum level to it, and it was
Oh,
level
that's
that you
right.
could reach without the DLC.
Yeah,
or some
that's
shit.
what it was. Yeah, you're right.
I
Yeah.
think they changed that back. I don't fucking know. I'd assume they didn't because it's Bungie, or rather, it's Activision.
Well, either way, the expansion wore mine's out. So if you have
that's-
Destiny and you actually bought the DLC pack, which I did, you might want to go play it just to get your money's worth. But also, you
Yeah.
might want to just kill yourself.
I enjoyed Destiny 2. I didn't play Destiny
You
1.
got quiet.
I'm quiet.
No, you're fine on my end.
Oh, it just lagged a little bit.
Okay. I was gonna say I didn't play Destiny 1 much, other than like if I was at Ian's house, or because I didn't have a PS4 until very very late. Like Destiny was already dead by the time I got into it. I just played it just to play it. So, but I definitely bought Destiny 2 because I did enjoy the shooter aspect, and I heard this one was like actually like a really pretty kind of shooter. Like the graphics were great.
Yeah.
Plus, I had a computer this time that could actually handle it, so that was nice.
Well, it actually came on
was
the computer.
computer.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
it wasn't before.
Well,
so.
yeah, but like my old computer would not have been able to handle Destiny, like back then, you know. So I think it was one of the first games I bought to really test the TI that I have, the TI that I have. So that was fun. I liked it. I liked the story. I never completed the story, but I liked how far I got. I just don't like the grind aspect at the end of it. Like if they could keep it more story driven, even in the grinding process, that would have been cool. I know it's hard to do that though.
It's like any MMO. There's not much you can
Yeah.
do. But that's cool. I mean, it's
That's
out.
the biggest issue though with them is that it's you and I would go, oh, it's like any MMO. There's a grind to it, but them themselves don't say, oh, it's an MMO.
They think it's a shooter, right?
They like refuse to claim that it's an MMO. It's really weird. That's part of the biggest issue.
It's fucky.
Yeah. Like they refuse to balance it like an MMO. So instead they're trying to balance it like a shooter, and that doesn't work for the type of game that it actually is. It's like Borderlands in the MMO sense, but they're trying to patch it like Call of Duty. It's fucking weird.
Gotcha.
Yeah, gotcha. Yeah. Cool. You want to move on? We good? We good with those?
Yes.
Are you happy now, Ian? We talked about your games.
Yeah. Conan Exiles wasn't even my game. That was just for you, boy.
No, I'm glad you brought it up.
I played that game just for dick physics.
because I do want to play it again. I do want to play it again, so it's definitely something I want to do. So
Strictly dickly. I mean,
So-
what?
So the next game I want to bring up is Warhammer 40k Inquisitor. All right. I know there's going to be some mixed
Yeah.
opinions on this, especially after I've already watched some stuff and looked at it. So let me play the trailer,
Let's watch the trailer. Yeah.
and I'm going to actually have it with sound. So if y'all want to chill a sec.
The universe is infinite and deadly. Beyond the veil lies only corruption. Far from the guiding light of the God Emperor, torn apart by the foul tempest that distort reality, the veil shreds open and madness gushes through. My sacred duty is to keep vigil here, in the darkness that hides tainted worlds and terrible secrets. I will purge the unclean and raise their nests. I will not hesitate to enter our once proud bastions, now sanctuaries of the wicked and the alien. This is a haven for the heretic and the corrupted. But I will cleanse towards the abandoned halls. I will face what's lurking among the shadows. I am an Inquisitor. I shall fear nothing, for I am what you fear.
I'm sorry, but that just looks terrible. His walking physics.
All right, that was it. What? That was the cinematic trailer. What do you think?
Yeah.
What do you think?
So I will say, as far as like cinematic trailers go, at least they didn't try to make the game look better than it is. Like they didn't use a different engine to make the trailer. They used the actual game engine, which I like.
Yep.
So the shitty graphics you saw is the shitty graphics of the game.
Well,
Here's
I
the
mean,
issue, though.
go ahead.
There's a lot of games that use the game's engine to make their things that look 100 times better than the game ever looked. So
Fair.
there's an issue there, where either the engine is so fucking fucked that it actually just looks like shit no matter what, and it's gonna look even worse when you get in the game. Because like,
I mean, that's what the game looks like, so
yeah,
it's not too far off.
like all of Destiny's like CG shit was made with their game engine. And if you go watch those, they look like fucking movies. They look like Pandora, whatever the fuck that movie was.
Same thing with any Blizzard stuff usually.
Yeah. And they look nothing like the game, but they're made with the game engine, but they look like 200 times better than the game.
Oh yeah.
So
I
don't
mean,
know,
like,
there's
I just
something to
I
be
just
said
like that
about
they didn't try to make the game look better than it is.
Yeah. I mean the graphics. I don't know. Top-down graphics look fine to me as far as I'm concerned. Obviously, the detail isn't as important when you're looking at it how the view is like right now.
Yeah.
If you're looking at the trailer or the gameplay here, but I agree the graphics may have been able to be better. The one thing I do like about it is their class system looks pretty cool, and it has like subclasses. So there's like 3 main classes, and then each one has like, essentially think of them like WoW trees, you know.
Okay. Like old school trees.
Like they specialize in a specific type of that character. So
Okay.
there's like a psyker, and it has 3 options. There's like a I can't remember what they called the other guy, like a guardian or something. It has 3, and then the third one's like an assassin.
Oh,
or
so
something.
ascendancies from Path of Exile.
Yeah, or whatever. So then when you pick so you pick that, but then you also have a skill tree system that you can level up independently. Also kind of like Path of Exile. Although it's not all webbed like Path of Exile. They're each their own little like skills.
They're like vanilla WoW, right?
Kind of, but smaller. Like think of the
Okay.
skill tree having like maybe like 6 or 8
Okay.
options in it. Okay. But there's a lot of them. There's like 20 skill trees. So anyways,
I gotcha.
yeah, the skill system looks kind of cool and unique. It's something I noted for you know, to say yes, this seems cool. The star maps are fucking badass. I don't know if in this gameplay I got a star map view. Here's some inventory stuff. I'll switch to that so you can see like inventory. You know, it's like Diablo though, or Path of Exile, and the fact that the weapons are all random and drop. But this also has a crafting system in it, so you can craft your own equipment. The negative for me is the crafting system is time based. So, like, if you're gonna craft something really cool, it's like, all right, well, that's gonna take 8 hours. It's taking 8 real hours. Okay, so you have
Like
to.
of the game being launched, or can the game
No, I
close?
think I don't know because I haven't played it, but I'm assuming it's just gonna take 8 real hours. You don't have to have the game launch. Now,
Gotcha.
if
like it just uses like your I wonder if it just uses your Microsoft clock or something.
that's
you know?
that's already a negative for me, but if you also have to play the game that long before it's done, then it's a
Oh, yeah.
super negative for me.
Yeah,
But
never playing.
that's the one thing I don't like is the crafting.
I'm worried about microtransactions to boost your speed in crafting.
That would be, yeah, you're one step closer to that because that's kind of like a phone deal, you know? It's like, oh, build your building. Oh, it's going to take 2 hours. Okay. I don't know. I think it's still pretty cool. The star maps thing is really neat. I don't remember. I thought in this trailer and this thing I saw them do star maps, but I'll check. So it has some good stuff for me. I'm a big sucker for 40K anyway, so it's gonna be hard for me not to probably buy this anyway.
I was hoping it was gonna be more like Space Marine.
But what's the price point again?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. So it's out May 11th, and it's $50.
Ugh.
So even for me, a guy who really loves 40K, I own like all the 40K games on Steam, including the really shitty ass ones. I probably am gonna wait to buy this until it drops in price a little bit. But it's a Diablo-like hack and slash. You know, with the same style loot, and it's set in the 40K universe. It's almost like something I definitely want to play. Like, I don't know. I'm not going to be able to stay away from him, I don't think, but we'll see how that goes, you know, on the price point. Because I think right now, with it just coming out at the $50 price point, it's probably not worth it. But maybe we'll get lucky. Summer's probably too close for it to be on sale then, but winter sale. I'm gonna guess.
You also can look at Green Man Gaming. Usually has a lot of good. This game is releasing here. Take
Launch
15%
discounts.
off.
Yeah, and Steam does that too, but it may not be as much. I don't know what it is. So, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I kind of want to play. I really do. I wish I had a copy, but
Man, I'd be more inclined if it was at least like co-op, like 2 people co-op. If
it is. It's 3. It's 3 or 4 player co-op. Yeah.
Missed that part. All right. I will get it then. I will get it.
Yeah, it's definitely co-op. Like I'm in. I watched them do a co-op mission. Somebody review the co-op mission, and it was pretty cool. The one they did. But the problem was the video I watched of the co-op mission was alpha footage. So he was like, there's a lot of bugs in this right now. So like, please disregard these bugs. And I'm like, okay, well, you know, that's hard to do. Let me see if I can find the star map thing real quick. Because I kind of want to show off the star map. Star map. Yeah, here we go. Let's see if I can search for it real quick. I'm really hoping he zooms out in the star map, because that's what makes it really cool, because it's like shows like the whole solar system and stuff. There's his inventory. Okay, yeah, here's star map stuff. Put it back up so you can see.
So David's gonna get it. Tarnus, you thinking about getting it while we're waiting?
If I can get a good deal on it, I would probably pick it up.
What's like the highest you pay for it?
35, 40.
Okay. Like,
Okay.
I think $40 not too bad.
So you just need
only
that.
because it's co-op. If it was single,
Yeah.
I'd be like, fuck this, paying
Nope.
$20, no more.
Hey,
But it is co-op, so it's a win-win.
Yeah, and there's still, to be honest with you, I still have stuff on my wish list that are single player Warhammer games
And $60
that are too expensive, so I haven't bought them because they're single player. So
I'm a bit of an Inquisitor guy myself.
yeah, there you go.
This is the Dark Heresy Collector's Edition. I absolutely love me some 40K.
Yeah, I love 40K, but I'm a Tyranid guy, so all my 6,000 points of Tyranids are sitting right next to me in these drawers. But
I like it, but I'm a whatever David has leftovers of guy.
yeah, I have
which used to be Space Marines, then he sold them all.
Well, I still have a small group of Space Marines, probably about 1,500 points, and I just bought a bunch of Chaos recently. So
Nice.
so there's still some stuff to play with, but you know, it's one of those things.
I mean, it's a game I definitely wouldn't buy into, only because it costs so much to get into it.
it
Also, I
does
don't play it
cost a
enough.
lot.
Also, I don't want to invest in the time in the researching what I should actually go into. So
Sure, yeah.
that's why I enjoy just the. Oh, you have this left over? Yes, I'll play. I play with you. Yes, hello.
So I'd keep 40K on your radar at least. See if there's a price drop, and then maybe pick it up at that point. I may end up picking it up anyway, and maybe next week we'll be talking about it a little bit because I'll be like, oh, I played it. It was fucking awesome. But I don't know. We'll see. One of those I really want to be good because I really like the universe and like the style of game, hack and slash. But we'll see how it goes, you know?
Yeah.
All right. So the third game I have on this list, I don't know if you guys looked at this or not, but it's called
I did.
Omen Sight, and it
Yeah.
looks really badass. Now, real quick, disclaimer, I'm a big co-op game guy. That's really what I like to play, or at least multiplayer, if not co-op, you know? And this is single player. But it looks really cool. The graphics are really awesome. It's called Omen Sight, and I really like the murder mystery combat combo.
Yeah, that murder mystery one.
Yeah, so let me switch to that. We'll watch that trailer real quick. It's pretty neat. Give me a sec. Here it is, guys.
You were brought back to the last dawn. The Tree of Life is in great danger. The godless priestess is dead. The bond she shared with the Tree of Life broken. The world is at war. Each side left wounded. Bleeding. The conflict feeding the void. Only she can stop it. You are the Harbinger. You must find the truth before the void consumes us all. Today might be the end of the world. But for you, the day begins anew.
Alright, that was it. So, just based off the trailer, I don't know what you guys think. But let me...
The art style just isn't my style.
I gotcha. And I can understand that. I think it's a cool art style, but I can
was
understand.
Gonna say, I think it's okay. Like I actually like the kind of cartoony style of that. Granted, I'm like a huge Borderlands fan, so that's kind of why.
Sure. Well, and so and that's a thing, and I think that's a valid point, Tarnus. That if the art of the game turns you off, it's gonna be hard to play. So I think that's a valid point to be like, okay, well, this game, the art doesn't do it for me, so I'm probably not even gonna get it. You know, there's no point. But if you like the art style, which I do, I think this game is really cool. It's kind of, the concept is the world ends, okay? And so you're basically this entity, the Harbinger or whatever, and you can go back in time at the beginning of the day, start the day over, and basically you're trying to figure out what happened to cause the world to end, right? And then what's cool is you can start your day over as many times as you need to, kind of like a Groundhog Day, like the movie or stuff like that, and then go and follow like a different person and listen to their story and like help them and figure out like different choices you make you learn new things. Is basically how it works. So it's pretty neat. It's a cool concept, and it's a murder mystery because you're supposed to be figuring out who murdered this like priestess basically. So, and that because that's that's like what caused the end of the world or something. Okay, I don't know all the whole story. I haven't played it, but it seems really cool. The combat's really neat. It's got like a chain counter combo type system. It looks really cool, and it should show some combat here in a little bit. And I could probably
Kind of hack and slashy.
Yeah, here's a little bit of combat I just switched to, but the combat looks pretty neat. You know, so I think it's pretty cool looking game, and I like the concept. You know, so I don't know if anybody else watched it, but you also have like abilities too. Like she has a time stop ability, or the Harbinger does. So that's kind of like it's kind of like in Diablo when you do the mage one. What's the mage one called? Anybody remember?
Oh,
Where like the
burning snow in a
projectiles
bubble.
go through the yeah, same concept basically. So that's pretty neat. And then there's like there's a bunch of different abilities apparently you get, but that was one of the ones that stuck out. What's up, Kraytech? You know, so it looks pretty cool. I actually am probably gonna buy it after looking into it and watching some of the gameplay trailers.
It looks pretty cool. Like I think the storyline would be really great to attempt to enjoy, as long as we don't play with people like John. And
Well, so that's what I'm saying. So the only downside for me is Ohmside single player. You're only playing with your by yourself, so I don't have to worry about John. Fucking John. I'm sure you're in here watching right now. Wow, fucking
He went
rude.
to bed.
He said, "Wow, fucking rude."
Wow. He lied to me. He said he was going to bed. He was in wall orbs.
Anyways, I think it's pretty cool. I can't remember. Let me see if I can grab it real quick. Y'all gonna see my Steam for a second because I gotta.
hot.
Yeah, I gotta look up.
Ooh, look, Conan knows that an elephant.
The elephant. When does it come out? Because I don't remember. May 15th. That's on Tuesday. So I don't know the price. They didn't have a price on Steam. You might be able to Google it and know, but I don't know. I think if it goes for 20 or under, I'll definitely buy it. You know, but they may try to throw a $40 price tag on it. I have no clue. You know, so. But anyways, I thought it was cool. It was one of the ones nobody really mentioned it, but yeah, it looked cool to me and interesting. So I'm
Looks
definitely
like they
down.
don't have a price on it. It literally just says you can wish list it on Steam. That's it.
Yeah. So
Yeah, so there's no price.
we'll
on
see.
it.
We'll see how it goes. Well, it also comes out on like PS4, I think. So
It does, yeah.
technically, you might be able to just tell or look at the PS4 one and see. There's that time stop thing that just happened, although you probably just missed it. Anyways, so I don't know. I thought it was neat, so I wanted to mention it. It looked pretty cool. So I think that's all we're gonna talk about in the games again. Let me show the games that are coming out one more time. Just so y'all
Apparently,
see.
it's they originally were gonna name it Stories: Path of Destinies.
Yeah, they didn't have.
So they definitely picked a better name.
Yeah, they didn't have the best naming scheme, so anyway, so that's the games coming out this next week. Some of the ones we kind of highlighted, just the ones we were interested in and stuff. I think we're gonna move on to some of the gaming news that we wanted to talk about.
Yeah.
What do we want to get started with? There's a couple of things we wanted to talk about. So
Well,
we got some big ones because there's a lot of patches.
yep. So you want to go with the biggest one then?
Well, let me throw one out real quick because I just want to give it a mention, basically.
Okay.
Did you see the new Fortnite patch that came out today?
Yep.
That looks pretty cool.
Fucking Thanos.
I mean, so one thing I want to mention on the Fortnite thing with Thanos is, that's a good
Move.
well, good move, and the other thing is that's really good for Fortnite. Like they're getting deals with big companies like Marvel to be able to do stuff like that.
Did you hear how that came to be?
No, I did not. But that's why
The creators of the movie, the two main lead designers, went
Play
to them
Fortnite?
about it because they're just such fans of Fortnite.
Why is my shit so fucky?
So they actually went to Fortnite for that. It wasn't even like Fortnite was like, "Hey, Marvel, please." It was like Marvel went, "Hey, Fortnite, include this in your game."
right.
That's good.
Right, but I mean, still the fact that
No,
they
it's-
have
it's
that,
dope.
yeah, they have that avenue. Oops.
Yeah. It's weird to
That's
think that
pretty
game could be
crazy.
single player. Or it's gonna be PvE.
Yeah, PvE. I mean, it still is. They still have their PvE stuff, but I mean, it's obviously known for the free to play battle royale now. But that's a cool. It's also a cool mode. It's not. I thought it was 1 versus 99 like zombies on PUBG, but it's actually still. It's just solos. It's a solo version, right? You can't play in squads. And then you're supposed to kill Thanos, right? But you can still kill other people on the map. And when you kill Thanos, he drops his glove and you pick it up. So it's still just last man standing, except for somebody's Thanos while that's happening. So
Yeah.
it's pretty cool. He has some pretty neat powers and stuff. But and he has like 1,000 life, which is crazy. And his life, he can't regenerate his life, but his shields regenerate every time he kills someone. So he always has at least 300.
It's like Battlefront with the Jedi.
Yeah, so
That's how they heal, is killing people.
yeah, so it's pretty cool. I just thought it was pretty awesome. Obviously they also came out with a patch last week too. So, but
yeah,
whatever, you know. So good for them, I guess. You know.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's definitely good for the gaming community, if anything.
Yeah, I agree. It's just really cool to see the crossovers, and I feel like that opens the door for a lot more crossovers for them. So.
Oh yeah.
I mean, whatever. That's just me. So.
Well,
Yeah.
sweet.
Anyway, so that was the first thing. But we want to start with PUBG.
We can, or we can start with the other stuff, and then go to PUBG since it's gonna take a while.
Well, we got Rainbow Six.
So yeah, Rainbow Six Siege is gonna have an update. We don't know when. I mean, I didn't look it up today. If they released when it's gonna happen, but they're doing a big weapons balance.
Are you is it not Operation Shimra?
No, it's underneath that essentially. Like Shamra is the new operation coming out, but they're doing stuff behind the scenes of that patch, if that makes sense.
Got you.
So
Okay.
obviously the two new operatives. I haven't looked up them. I don't think they've been released yet as to who they're going to be or what they're going to have. Weapons changes, minor stuff. They're changing where the reticle sits on the gun, so when you aim down sights, it's actually going to be like a realistic one and not like how the guns shoot currently. Basically, right now the bullets come out of the reticle. If you're aiming down sights, they're going to make it like how it's supposed to be, where the reticle is above the barrel, so the bullets have to go up into the reticle, if that makes sense. So they'll be at a diagonal going into where you're aiming instead of going straight from the reticle. Another thing they're doing is they're talking about reworking the least picked operators. So Tachanka is their biggest one. They're going to completely redo him, like just rework him from the ground up, and hopefully make it to where he's usable. Basically, he's the lowest percentage pick. People only pick him to troll.
Yeah.
And he's very useless. Very low application right now for him. So they don't know if they're gonna take away his turret, and they don't want to just buff the damage on him because that may just lead to just breaking him. You know.
So the one thing that that Ubisoft has said is both the new guys are defenders. Don't know anything about that, but yeah. And then apparently some people data mined and found two operators named Alibi and Maestro. I don't know if those are real yet. That's all just hearsay until they actually say anything. But
yeah. And they name the things. So I mean, eventually they may be released. Those two may be released, but they definitely the names of the people have to do with their abilities. So there's some skeptical ideas going around right now.
Well, we should get some more info about it. They say that the full reveal of Season 2 will take place May 19th and 20th.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming that's when we're going to get all the stuff about it. You know, the operators and all that kind of thing. So we may also look at it again then, you know, once we know about the new operators and stuff. I've noticed a ton of people playing it again. It's been a month or two, but people just started picking it up again. I don't know which patch kind of fixed it for everybody, but it seems to be a game I see everybody on Steam playing again. You know, it kind of died off for a little while and then came back. So that's good. I'm glad to see it. It's a fun game. It's not for me. I can't react fast enough. It's too twitchy for me. I can't do that.
What, Siege?
Yeah, I can't do that for anymore. For me, it's just
Yeah.
it's too rough for me to be able to compete. So I don't
Fair.
play it that often, but it was still a good game, I think, and obviously people agree they're playing it.
And
so.
it's still up there too. Like it's one of the most played shooters at the moment, and it's definitely I think the most competitive right now, outside of like CS:GO. But
Yeah. Well, CS:GO is kind of established, you know. It's like only these teams are
Yeah.
competitively playing. But anyways, yeah, it looks cool. I mean, new operatives are always good no matter what, so we'll see how it goes.
for sure. I'm just excited to see the reworking of the guys who don't get picked ever, to see what kind of like changes they'll be doing. That's my most exciting thing.
You know, the most guy I see on YouTube is the guy with the shield and the pistol. What's his name?
Blitz
Yeah,
with the
apparently
which shield, Montaigne with the big shield, or Blitz with the flashbang shield.
I don't know. It's just like I think it's just a clear shield, right?
They're both clear.
Oh, I don't know. All it is just basically videos of him wrecking everyone. So you tell me.
It's probably Blitz then. Yeah.
And I'm just like, Jesus.
Because there is no technical counter to his flashbang. You can't not have.
Oh yeah, I think it is that one because I seen it flashbang. I saw that in some of the things.
Yeah, he's very strong right now, especially as a attacker.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. So, okay, cool.
Next, go ahead.
Well, I was gonna double check. Tarnis, was there anything you want to talk about on the gaming news side? You're muted.
Overwatch Rialto.
Oh, the new map, right?
Yep. Plus the whole buff balance pass with Lucio, and a few others.
Yeah. I mean, have you been playing? I have not played Overwatch in probably like a month.
Longer than that, my friend.
Well, for you maybe, but what I was gonna say is I recently played. I think with some of the guys, some of the GameStop guys. So
yeah.
That was just me, but I'm gonna switch it because I think I have some stuff on here.
Yeah, Overwatch. I just started playing that just as Rialto hit, and it was actually a lot of fun. I liked it.
Oh yeah.
The map setup was pretty good. I always love playing certain characters to troll people. I'm usually good with the Junkrat. There's a few spots that I feel that might need to get looked at because Junkrat and Pharah can just jump over and backstab the shit out of people.
Yeah, you gotta watch for that stuff. But well, the one thing I will say is I may be playing soon again because they have the new Mercy skin came out. What was it today? The pink Mercy. Did you see that patch? It's for breast cancer awareness week, I think, or month. Sorry. And
on one of those words.
I know which one. It's cancer.
That's the one.
That's what I thought.
The one.
Got him, coach. Got him.
Anyways, so the new map does look cool. I have not got to play it though, so I don't know much about it. So, do you think there's some issues with just balance?
Mainly the Junkrat and Pharah being able to jump over certain spots.
Yeah, I mean they could have been able to do that for other maps too. So I don't know.
And then what was it? Of course, Sombra's translocator allows her to get into places she shouldn't, but that's just Sombra right there.
Sombra is super strong right now. We're watching I do watch Overwatch League a lot still, and she's like a big pick right now on all the pro teams. She's just doing really. They really made her force to be reckoned with, you know. So it's good to see, I guess, because originally when she came out, she was really strong. Yeah.
No,
another thing that popped up: competitive Battlefield.
Oh yeah, they released that new game mode. Well, they haven't released it yet, but they've been doing it. It was out actually a couple patches ago as a trial run, and everybody it didn't get a lot of play, so they took it down and reworked it, and everyone's kind of excited about it.
What is?
I forget what it's called. Oh man, hold on. BF1. competitive game mode. Game. Incursions. It's called Incursions. I believe it's a very small. It's like a 6v6.
Oh, okay.
Very small maps.
Ugh.
You still cap points. That's 5v5. Sorry, 5v5 focused battles. So there are still vehicles. Like one tank per side, essentially. Like one tank or like one plane. Not very like, and it's not like both sides get them immediately. I think one gets it, and then once they blow up, the other side gets one, and you only get one for the round or something like that. Not really sure. I never played it. I'll have to give it a shot whenever it comes back out.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna be interested, especially. I miss what was it? Squad deathmatch. 4v4v4. It was like 16 players total. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But,
I don't
I'm
know.
definitely interested in that.
Like, I play Battlefield because I like the larger war aspect of it, you know. So.
Right. Huge
I mean,
battles and whatnot.
nothing wrong with it. Everybody wants an angle at the competitive scene, and it makes sense to have like a 5v5.
It's
more
really the only thing
manageable,
Battlefield's ever lacked is competitive scene.
Sure.
BF4 we did, in BF4 and Hardline we had it, but the problem is you were stuck to only playing like TDM and occasionally search and destroy, and maybe capture the flag. Like,
yeah, because they had
even then
third-party ladders, I'm guessing.
Yeah, like game battles and stuff like that.
Yeah. Okay.
And then like it would be ran by people and companies
Yeah.
essentially.
Yeah.
Because we did that, it was kind of cool. Hardline they made it a little better because Hardline maps they tried to compete with Call of Duty on them, so it was basically always 3 lanes for the smaller maps. And then of course like destructible terrain made it, you know, you blow up a fucking wall and you can walk through it. So it was not COD as far as lanes are concerned, but it was also not quite Battlefield, which is one of the reasons it fell through was the gun mechanics. Nobody liked it.
Yeah.
Because it was too much like COD. But, you know, grain of salt.
Yeah.
I liked it personally, and yeah, so. Yeah, it's gonna be good. A lot of people are really stoked for it, especially the second time around, because the first time nobody actually played it. Like nobody actually wanted to give it a shot, and then they took it down. So people were like, "Wait, bring it back. We want to play it." And they said, "No, we're gonna fix it first, then we're gonna bring it back." So.
Yeah. So. Speaking of Battlefield,
speaking of Battlefield 1,
well,
while we're on it real quick, they're giving away a free DLC right now.
Oh,
so
really?
if you don't have premium and you want a free DLC, yeah, it's the They Shall Not Pass. It's the French DLC they released. They're giving it away for free for like a week. So as long as you download it while it's free, you will keep it after the fact. Like even if you uninstall it at some point, it'll still be unlocked for you permanently.
We can bring it up since we're kind of talking about it already. Black Ops, you know, the Call of Duty's coming out with Black Ops 4. And then
Battle Royale.
Yeah, they're adding Battle Royale. I mean, I think everything's gonna add a Battle Royale because it's working, you know. And then obviously we've heard very little about Battlefield 5 or whatever it's gonna be called at this point. So, but I'm hoping we'll get one, right? We have to get one.
Yeah.
Because I mean, they've been in competition with each other for so long. Like if one's gonna release, the other one's gonna release. So
yeah, they're gonna do. I think they're gonna try to do another modern one before they do Battlefield 2, quote unquote, for World War 2.
Yeah, I guess. So I don't know.
I just want Bad Company, man.
That's,
I'd like a new Bad
That's what a lot of
Company.
people are hoping for. They're hoping just for like a Bad Company 3 kind of situation. Fully destructible buildings and whatnot.
Oh God, just the trolling of just C4ing every single building possible.
I always love the destructible environments of the Battlefield games, and you know they kind of that's still in the current game, but it's not as much. Because like you said, like in the previous games, you could blow up the entire building and be gone, which was awesome.
Right.
Cool. Yeah, well, I mean, so we'll see how it goes. We'll see. Maybe I'll play some 5v5 Battlefield, but I don't know. That's not why I play. I kind of agree with Puppy. It's like Battlefield. I don't think people play Battlefield for that, but maybe they do. Once it comes out, you'll know, obviously. So if a lot of people play it, so They may just like how the game feels, and then if they got a 5v5, they may want to play in that game because they like the way the guns shoot or whatever. So we'll see, you know. So, okay, well, what else we got on the list? We got, do you want to talk about GPU prices? I mean, essentially, they're dropping, right? We're kind of talking about that. And you know, they're dropping because a lot of that cryptocurrency
is failing right now.
Is kind of dropping as well, so it makes sense. But also, there's a couple of companies out there making some dedicated processors for crypto mining. So,
right.
You know, people may be buying that instead of the new cards. You know,
we hope at least.
Yeah,
because the new 20 series is about to drop.
Yeah, but also the other problem is they're thinking about like making some new rules for the current cryptocurrency where you can't use miners. So I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know how they enforce that. I have no freaking idea. But
yeah, I don't know either.
But whatever, you know. So people's making something dedicated, then obviously then the GPUs will come back down for sure. You know, and hopefully stabilize and stay there. So. But they've got out a lot in the past like 2 or 3 months. It's crazy. Like they're basically back down to a regular price at this point. So.
Yep. Normal prices. I'm gonna sneeze. Hold on. All right, back. All right, cool. And then that's potential rise with the next era. So basically, when the 20s come out, do we think they're gonna raise back up exponentially?
No,
but with what you said, they may fix that. So
right, yeah, because some of these companies are coming out with their own like processor type thing for crypto mining specifically. So we'll see how it goes. Yeah, I mean, Puppy, I don't know. I don't think a lot of people know much about mining, so people are just using what they can for processing power, and I guess GPUs were cheap enough. That's my only guess. But you're probably right. I mean, they don't know what they're doing in the first place. They're just trying to get that money. Money. All I know is I mean, just like anything else, lottery or anything. I wish I would have known in the beginning of last year that Bitcoins were just gonna fly through the roof for a little while, and I bought some. You know.
Yeah.
Because they were at like 16,000 plus at one point, and at the beginning of the year they were like 700. I was like, fuck me.
Yeah.
But that happens with everything, so whatever.
Yeah. We can cover the loot crates real quick. Loot boxes. I have a website open right now. I can talk about them.
Yeah, I don't have a lot to say about it because I don't know much about it, but apparently they're being banned.
Yeah,
I think
so
you brought this up the other day.
especially in Europe right now, countries over the globe are definitely researching into loot boxes and whether or not it's a form of gambling or if it's, I mean, it is a form of gambling, but whether or not it breaks the countries or states for our instances, or even Canada for provinces, if it breaks their gambling laws. And so far, I think 5 companies. This website's not quite up to date. It only has, I think, 3 or 4. It is 2. Actually, only 2. Because technically, like Europe, quote unquote, but UK, I mean, United Kingdom, they banned them. Belgium and Australia, I believe, have banned them already. And then United States has been looking into it for a while. A couple other countries are starting to look at them in depth as far as whether or not they need to be banned. Some countries are just forcing companies to release the data based on like, hey, if you just tell them what the percentages are, like accurate percentages, then you're legal. So there's a bunch of different ways for companies to get around it. But if the system has been banned in a country, then the game essentially cannot be sold in that country. So developers are kind of getting fucked right now, which is, I mean, we all know who started that problem. So good old EA and their Battlefront 2.
Well, and so I don't know. So
I don't think that's true.
It didn't become a problem until they released Battlefront 2 with a fucked off.
I don't think it was that it wasn't a problem beforehand. I think that was just the problem coming to a head. It was just like being headlighted right there.
You might be right.
So I don't know.
Go ahead.
So the problem I have with banning loot boxes, I don't know. Maybe I don't have a problem with it. I sometimes purchase loot boxes or crates. Like Blizzard gets me a lot whenever they have new skins, and I'll purchase some. I guess I'm with the mindset like if they would talk about showing percentages, maybe that'd be okay. Because like for Blizzard, if I buy like $50 worth of loot crates, if it's worth my time to buy the $50, I usually get the skins I want. Okay, and I'm not saying that this happens for every game, or that even anybody else who buys 50 gets the skins they want. But usually, if I buy $50 worth, I'll get the skin I want for that event, plus a bunch of other random bullshit. But I don't know. I mean, I get that how that people can say, hey, it's gambling. I guess the alternative is just having the skins open for you to just straight up buy, and that way it's no longer gambling. They're just like, hey, this skin's $10, you know, and that way you're guaranteed to get it, and then they can still make their micro transactions, you know, non-game changing microtransaction type things. They just would be full purchases. Same with like emotes or whatever, I guess. I don't know. I guess as long as I still had a way to buy them, because the reason why I like loot crates, or at least an alternate way, is I don't have a lot of time to play games. So if I can get a skin by buying it, I'll probably do it, because it's much faster, and I can guarantee myself I'm going to have that. So if they get rid of the crates, at least allow them to keep any microtransactions. You know, like maybe some other games do it this way.
I feel that all microtransactions should be cosmetic only.
Well, yeah, I mean that should be. Yeah, I mean I think most people feel that way. There should be no.
The main reason why those were getting really bad is the whole Battlefront. Oh, I get boosts to make me better in a game.
Actually, Battlefront straight up just put equipment in there. Like, you literally couldn't get a thermal grenade, let's say, unless you got the loot box and opened it to get a thermal grenade.
Yeah.
Like, you couldn't use a grenade or a gun or a pistol or anything like that. You couldn't use that thing unless you unlocked it, which is what started this whole fiasco, essentially. Like, loot boxes have always been a rough, is this illegal, is this not illegal, or should kids be allowed to do it? Should it be on only rated, like, you know, rated R games and stuff like that, or whatever, you know, rated M for mature. Like, there's been a lot of conversations in the past, ever since loot boxes have been a thing, because it is a form of gambling, and it does kind of cause the that part of your brain that produces the histamines, right, or something like that. I don't know. It makes you happy whenever you get shit you want, and it makes you want to do
definitely
it over and
not
over again.
histamines though.
Whatever, man. Fucking, it gives you, they pump steroids in your system and make you jerk off the loot box. Right? I don't fucking know.
I will point out that we have a mutual friend. We're not naming names, but I'm pretty sure he's watching the stream. That his son, like last month or the month before, spent like $800 on his credit card. He's like,
there he is. Yep.
And you know, it was in 1 month. That's $800. So
right,
you gotta watch. I mean, like, I know on my stuff, I try, because my kids aren't really old enough yet to really get into that stuff, I don't think. Right. But I still already now just make sure that there's no way for them to make any purchases. But
yeah,
that's a good example. It's $800 or whatever, right? And it's like the kid is just buying because, like, oh, I want this new skin. It's cool. It's all Fortnite, by the way. That was all good. Fortnite purchases.
Wow, Jesus. Oh, Jesus.
But it's just a good.
GT Oliver.
Yeah, it's just one of those things. He just like looked at his credit card statement. He's like, "What the hell?" And you know, he talked to.
What is this company? What is Epic Games?
And you know, the thing is whether his kid did it intentionally or not, or like. You know, like, because I think the kid was like, oh, well, I didn't realize I spent that much money. Yeah, okay. But still, there's obviously a problem there whenever, you know, you have $800 worth of purchases in 1 month. You know, that the kid, even if he knows better, he may have thought, you know, it's just addicting, obviously, is what I'm trying to point out. You know, you're buying it, you're like, oh, cool, I got this new skin. Oh, there's another new skin. I'm going to buy that one. And eventually you have an issue there, and I think that's what they're trying to prevent, that sort of thing. Which is kind of why they prevent gambling in a lot of places anyway. It's because it's addicting. It can cause issues. So, I mean, I understand it. If you're making everything purchasable and where you can just buy stuff outright instead of using crates, I don't think that fixes the addicting part at all. You know, like somebody who's gonna want to buy skins is still gonna buy them, but at least you're guaranteed the skin that you want, and you're not like just trying to buy the loot box over and over until you get the skin you want. So there's a trade-off there, I think. Slightly.
I mean, League's been surviving off of that for years.
Yeah, I mean that is how League does it, isn't it? You just buy their currency and then
the cosmetic,
and then the cosmetic you buy.
Which
the
now they
cosmetic
do
with the
have
currency.
loot boxes you can buy, but they started that way later, like even way later than when
And
loot
they're
boxes
even-
became a thing.
Those are like way cheaper. And
Yeah,
like
they're also
250.
free. You get a free one like randomly, so it's like not a They give them away more often than any other game in the.
Well, a lot of them you can even get
scene.
within game if you want to
What
grind
about
for it. So.
Overwatch? Every level you get a loot box.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one's fine, and they even do
true.
like the three a day if you do the event one, like one for the event mode and then 3 for arcade or something like that. Like
it's the weekly
like
ones.
some companies do it better. It's just unfortunately
But
the companies.
The fact
tried
is,
to fuck everybody over on it. It kind of ruined it for the rest of them.
the fact is, Overwatch still has a way for you to buy loot boxes, as many as you want.
Yeah.
And so that still falls under that category, even though they give away free ones, which is great. I'm not dogging them for it. I'm just saying it still puts them in that category. So.
Yeah. Okay.
Then there's other games like Destiny too, where they also have you can get shit where it affects gameplay in those same cosmetic loot boxes.
I mean, there's a lot of games like that. Yes, pay to win is a thing. I understand that, but
David, I'm gonna send you this. I don't know if you want to try to put this on the screen as we go through them or not.
I
But
mean,
this is what I'm looking. This is what I'm looking at for the for the.
If
what
you're
we're
talking
to
about
talk
for PUBG, are you talking about PUBG? I mean, I got the LMG stuff. If that's what you're talking about.
Oh, I was gonna do all of them.
Yeah, pistols, ARs, shotguns, DMRs, all that shit stuff.
Yep.
Things. Let me see if it'll show up without me having to create a whole new window.
Well, you had your Steam opened earlier, so you could just use that same window, I guess.
Yeah, but it's like cut to only show the video.
I got you.
But it's kind of in the same spot. Let me bring it up and see how addicted it is.
Yeah.
Let me see. It's almost. Let me do this.
Also, I don't
yeah, get wrecked.
think this actually I think is the latest patch, not the one that we want. I may have fucked up.
No, it's update 3.53/2018. So I have the patch notes up on the stream right now. So
Okay.
I did not grab your link. I just grabbed the one from. Hey.
Oh, you're doing that one. No, that one's fine. This is the actual damage models.
We lost somebody. Tarnus. Because it just fucked
Yeah.
all our video.
Yeah,
Fucking
it did.
Tarnus. Thanks,
Oh, look,
Tarnus.
now you get to watch my. Oh no, that's all Ian. Never mind.
Yeah, bear with us while we fix our technical difficulties.
Tarnus says computer froze.
Good game. Good game. Oh, Gary, he went through withdrawals, huh? Nice. That's kind of funny. No, I guess it's not funny. That's terrible.
It is terrible, actually. That's kind of sad.
All right, bear with us, guys. Sorry. Let me turn off the video real quick.
Let me try to find a better link. I have
their update on Steam open right now. If you
no, I'm trying to find the actual damage models, but I had a good one.
The damage models are down a little bit. I can go right here. See.
I have to wait for it to actually do it on my screen.
Pistols, ARs.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you have it. You're good. That's what I was looking for. Yep.
So as we talk about them, I can do it.
Yeah, we'll scroll down.
Windows update, huh? Can you tell it not to update right in the middle of the thing?
Just power it back off. It'll fix it.
Real quick, let me. I'm just gonna turn off y'all's cams for a second until y'all get back. Woohoo! You're just gonna hear people talk for a minute. All right. Well, let's go ahead and get started at least, and then I'll bring the video back up once Tarnus gets back.
I can get a drink now. No one would know.
That's true. You probably don't have a lot to say about PUBG, so you're welcome to do so. Oh, he put his phone back up. That might work temporarily.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Tarnus. Can we hear you, Tarnus? Are you there? I don't think you have video. Oh.
I'll be right back. I'm water hungry.
Oh, I got it on push to talk. That's the problem.
Yeah, no, that's good. We want push to talk though, right? All right, cool. So, all right, big PUBG patch. That's what we're gonna talk about now, real quick. What did you wanna touch up on first, Jiggly?
So I do like that they added the well, okay, let's start at the beginning. It's the biggest patch since 1.0, since they went out of beta or alpha.
Yep, it's huge.
It's so since release, this is the biggest one after 1.0. A lot of changes have been happening. They're really buckling down on balance issues that have been a concurrent issue since beta. They haven't. I don't think they've ever really touched on balance too much, except for like when guns first come out. If they like the DP, whenever it first came out, it fucking sucked. Nobody used it, and so they upped the damage and lowered the recoil initially, and then it made it a little more useful at least. But now they have literally touched almost every gun, in some way. Actually, I think they have touched every gun in one way or another. Most of them are damaged models. As you'll see, the pistols all got buffed. They want pistols to be, because a lot of people freaking die in the first couple seconds just because they find a pistol. But they want pistols to be comparable to at least a shotgun, if not an AR, in a 1v1 situation up close.
So pistols, SMGs, and LMGs were all completely buffed. There was no negatives.
Not for damage, no.
All the ARs went down.
Yeah, all ARs dropped. They made bullet distance a better. So the further your bullet goes, the less damage it does, right? Actually made that even worse for ARs. As far as like max damage at range is a little lower. I think it's like, for like the M4, it's down like 4 points at max range. It's pretty bad, or maybe more than that. I don't really know.
Yeah, because what they're trying to prevent is a lot of people could pick up an M4, essentially, it kitted out to what they wanted, and then they essentially could just play the entire game with the M4. Like, they didn't need another weapon, really.
They could counter snipe.
They could snipe with it. They could close range spray with it. They could mid range with it. So what they did is they changed everything up. SMGs are really good now, especially at your close range, which is what you would think they'd be good for. But in previous patches, they were not. And they now have a space for DMRs being. They are your long range weapons. The damage doesn't come off further out just as much as the ARs do. So they basically made a place for each gun type, and like Jiggly was saying, the pistols even have a use at this point, which is good. I mean, you have all these guns in your game and you want them to be used. Obviously, beforehand there was a lot of this gun is clearly the best gun and I need to use it, and so this patch kind of rearranged everything. And it's like learning the game over again, to be honest. I've only got to play like 4 or 5 times so far, and I'm still trying to figure out what's best.
Yeah.
So it's pretty cool though, and they add a lot of other stuff too, not just the weapon damage stuff. So you can continue.
Yeah. So a lot of games, like ARs, received recoil nerfs and buffs. So the AK got a lower recoil, which is surprised a lot of people, because they've already raised the recoil once, but they raised it way too high. They made the gun almost impossible to use unless you are professional or have the bullshit macro. M4, they kind of left alone. It's kind of been in a good spot. They did remove. You cannot wear 8 times anymore on any of the ARs, as far as I know. You can no longer use an 8 times on any AR. Only 4 times.
Can you not put a 6 times on them?
I think you can put a 6. You just can't do an 8.
Gotcha.
I haven't tested it. We may see it here in the patch notes.
So
scrolling down later.
Two new scopes real quick, just because we're talking about scopes.
Yep.
You originally had your 8x, your 4x. They released a 2x. Now they have a 3x and a 6x in this new patch.
And the 6x is variable, as well as the 8x and the 15.
Yeah. So the 15x. The 6x, yeah, you can scroll out to a 4x or whatever. It's.
I think it's 3 to 6.
Yeah, it's pretty nice. I like it. It's. I like the 6x. I don't like the 8x. Even whenever I could scroll out with it, I didn't really like it. But the 6x is kind of that right distance in my opinion. So I really like it. But anyways, continue.
No, you're good.
So you can see here real quick. Also, like shotguns. So they changed the modifiers, which is kind of what Jiggler was talking about. It's not just the damage difference, but like shotguns, like if you shoot them in the limbs, it does more damage, and stuff. So there's a reason and method to using each weapon instead of just body shotting somebody or headshotting somebody all the time.
Yeah, it used to be headshots were king.
Right.
Shotguns, if you landed at least 2 bullets to a head, someone would probably die. Granted, shotguns RNG bullets, so it's it's kind of rough. But now it's shotguns. You can, as long as you hit the dude, you're pretty much gonna KO him now, which is good. Like unless it's a body shot to armor. So that makes shotguns way less painful to use. I know that was one of my weaknesses. Is just I'm not good at getting a close range headshot. For the most part, I mean you get lucky with them half the time, anyways. So I would always shoot someone in the chest. Or their arms or something like that, or legs. I'm a real big leg hitter for some reason. So now I can actually fucking do something with a shotgun and not be trash.
Real big leg hitter because you're derp. That's what it is.
That's right, yeah.
But anyway, so they did that on all the different like categories. Like you can see SMGs got an increase. Pretty much everything got increased. It's just for different parts of the body, basically. So
I will say that I think the biggest one for shotguns, if the limbs isn't number one, is definitely the reduce the pellet spread by 25%, because that's basically what the choke did originally, and now you can do that plus a choke. So you're looking at 50% reduced spread almost, which is like bullet tight. So it's basically like shooting a if you just shot a buckshot. No, that's not what I'm looking at. What's the thing called? Slug. Thank you. It's like shooting a slug almost. Like it's not, because they don't have that in the game. But
we live in Texas. We should know that.
I should know that. I even own slug rounds for my shotgun. Anyway, so that's a really exciting one. You can now put a choke on a sawed-off, which is the offhand or the pistol slot shotgun. Makes me happy.
I saw some
SMGs.
I saw somebody playing a game mode yesterday, the day before. It was pistols only, and they're like, "Is the sawed-off shotgun a pistol?" They were debating it, and they're like,
"It is.
Goes in the pistol slot." And so they were using a sawed-off shotgun. I was like, that's kind of cheaty. That's kind of cheaty.
Yeah, I mean, so is like the P18 fully automatic. So
yeah, you're right.
Either way, you'll see SMGs increase the shot modifier as well. Increase damage of almost all of them. Actually, yes, all of them. Decreased vertical recoil, so that's exciting, and we'll go after that in a second. Decreased recoil and scope away when moving and aiming down sights, and increased aim down sights transition speed, which is actually important.
Especially because when you're using an SMG, it's close quarters.
Yeah, and you basically want to be aimed down sights, at least in first person mode.
You want to aim down sights and hit that target as fast as possible. So
yeah,
it's nice.
So increasing damage, they did that just because SMGs just didn't really do a whole lot. I mean, they did.
The UMP is God King now. It was already one of my favorite guns, but now it's retarded.
Decreasing vertical recoil, they did that because they almost all use 9mm. The Vector uses ACP, but like those caliber rounds don't produce a lot of recoil generally, anyways. The Uzi obviously would have a crazy amount of recoil because you don't have a second place for your hand to go, but like a UMP and a Vector, you could stabilize it a little more. So they just went ahead and reduced the overall recoil on all of them to better match a realistic feel, because they were pretty ridiculous. Like you had to pull down pretty hard on those, which didn't really seem to make a lot of sense. Decreased recoil and scope sway when moving in ADS. So basically, if you strafe side to side, it used to be pretty bad. It used to be like your red dot. Oh, there's okay.
He's probably switching to his computer. Yeah.
So your red dot used to be pretty bad. Like if you were trading with somebody in the open and you're both moving back, side to side, your red dot or your 2 times or 4 times, God forbid you have 8 times on a UMP, but you would not be able to see the person really. It'd be really rough. But they fixed that a little bit, at least with the 1 and 2 times scopes, and probably 3 times a little bit. So it's going to be easier to trade with people now. And then the increasing of the ADS speed. This is kind of a weird one for me. I don't think it needed to be buffed personally, because all you had to do was put an angled grip on it, and it was fast as hell. So I don't know how you feel about that one, David. I know these guys don't really play PUBG too much, so they might not have opinion. But
Well,
playing a
Tarnus
little bit.
plays. I don't know if he's played the new patch yet. Have you played the new patch, Tarnus?
I have not played the new patch yet, and we all know I suck at the
Is
game anyway.
Sargrim playing at all? Does he play it at all? No.
Were you
Yes?
asking?
Tarnus.
Oh,
I don't know if he knew or not, but
I feel like he's somehow muted himself.
every day.
He's looking very confused right now.
Well, in any case, I think
Can you even hear us?
no. There he is. He said he hasn't played it. I didn't know he was watching. What's up, Sargrim? Anyways, that's the thing. I think that when they readjusted all the new attachments, they brought in all those new grips. So there may be a reason to increase ADS transition speed on the SMG solely because you might be using a different grip now for other reasons.
Yeah, with those new grips, exactly. So that makes sense to me if that's the reason they did it. Otherwise, I don't think it was absolutely necessary because it was still faster than AR. I mean, but I don't know. We'll see. I haven't. The UMP last time I used it, it's my favorite gun, so I've gotten really used to it. But it didn't seem like it was different.
Gotcha.
So maybe they just slightly tweaked it, and it wasn't enough for me to have to concern myself with it. So we'll see.
Yeah, I gotcha. Yeah, AR's kind of got a nerf all the way around. I mean, they increased headshot modifier, but their damage went down anyway.
Right.
And obviously, the further out, the damage went down as well. So, that's a thing. Plus as you can see in the patch notes, all the reload times were increased, so they take longer to reload. And they decreased the recoil recovery rate. So, I mean, in general, they got nerfed overall.
Oh, they got nerfed hard, yeah.
Yeah, so, we'll see.
And to be fair, it was almost a long time coming. Like, ARs have been in such a good spot that you never not had one.
Yeah.
Or you never did not have one, I guess.
Yeah, actually,
you would always have at least one AR on you.
You're right.
That was the meta. So
since the patch, actually, I did notice that. Like watching anybody play like Shroud or stuff. Sometimes they won't have an AR. They'll have a SMG. Yeah, they'll have an SMG and then they'll have a DMR. And
or
then
a sniper. Yeah.
Well, yeah. So
it's basically ARs may potentially just be out of the meta right now. Until people kind of start getting used to the new damage modifiers, they may just be saying "fuck it," we'll just go for DMRs now.
I've seen them be used a lot, but I'm just saying I've also seen people not use ARs now, because they'd rather have the other.
Which is
weapons,
which is definitely what the devs wanted. That was literally their idea behind this whole patch was to make ARs not have to be a gun of choice.
Yeah.
They did it right. So I mean, I'm not complaining. And granted, I never really liked any of the ARs anyways. I would use an M16 just because the recoil is so good on it. But I really never liked using them. I would always just run UMP Car 98 if I could. If that was a potential option for me, that was my preferred. So.
Yep.
Moving on to DMRs, increased head, body, and limb shot modifier. They're now 235%. To the head, 105 body, 95 limb. Increased the damage of the SKS. Decreased, which I think was necessary.
Oh, decreased it, yeah.
Yeah, decreased it. And they slightly increased the damage of the VSS and the Mini. Now, the VSS...
It's a beast
I'm all for increasing that thing, because it was useless. Nobody really used it.
Also, they 100%...
They buffed the fuck out of VSS.
They changed the drop rate. It's like a laser beam now, basically. Yeah. It's ridiculous.
But at further ranges, it drops very hard now.
Yeah.
So the built-in, I think they adjusted the built-in scope appropriately. I don't know. I haven't used it yet, so I don't know if they kept it the same or not. I'll have to mess with it. You know how it has like the little distance gauge on it?
Yeah.
Of where to shoot. So I don't know. I haven't seen that.
I never used the VSS, so I don't know anything about it.
Oh, so this basically it was had a built-in 8x scope.
No, I know. Okay, I've played it and used it like once or twice, but what I mean is I didn't use it enough to know.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
Like I'm not gonna know the difference or anything,
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, originally, I'll just go over the basics. Originally, the way it was set up with like the 4 to 5 different tick marks, or the what do they call them? Shamrocks, I think is what they call them. If a player was standing up, every 100 meters you would raise the one underneath it to their head, and it would would hit them in the head essentially. That was
Jesus.
how it was supposed to work. But
Yeah, it was really rough.
yeah, it was weird. Anyway, so the mini, I don't think the mini needed an increase in damage at all. I thought it was in a really good spot.
It was okay, but it was never a preferred weapon, I don't think.
After
with
the original
increase in-
nerf of it, no, it's because they made the recoil so high.
Yeah, and so
Everybody just
I
picked
think
SKS
the
at that
increase
point.
just makes it something you think about picking up now because
I
it
think
does
it's
more
because
damage.
now the plan may have been the SKS still has more damage, but the SKS's recoil is still higher.
Yeah.
And the mini you can get a couple more accurate shots off of and faster because the mini shoots faster as well.
Yeah.
Increased vertical and horizontal recoil for all DMRs. That's cool. I'm cool with that. Recoil was pretty low for all those anyways. Decreased the recoil recovery rate, which is interesting. Like how fast it basically goes back into resting position. And then added new recoil animations. So I think they tried adjusting those to prevent the macro from being useful. Like to kind of make people easier to catch if they had a macro. Because originally the macro for recoil is random, is RNG'd, but it still technically wasn't quote unquote. Like the code was supposed to make it RNG, but it didn't, so the macro still worked on it. I'm thinking they tried doing this to prevent the macro from being as useful, so we'll see. We'll see based on how many people get banned.
The next part under throwables is the part I'm most angry about in this patch.
Okay. And then LMG's got a full buff, so
Yep.
basically everything got better with LMGs.
They get the 8x scopes. They're the only ones that get
And
the
a
8x
cheek pad.
scopes. Yeah. They got increased damage, and then they put a thing in there about crossbows, but nobody cares about crossbows.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Oh, they make crossbows really, really fast to reload now, which is great if people like crossbows, because that was the biggest thing.
Ooh.
Really fast, 0.5 more
It's-
seconds.
if
But
you
yeah,
get-
it is.
Well,
it
but
is
yeah,
faster.
but if you get the quiver on it too, then it's a
Yeah.
full second faster. So
Yeah,
it's
I
fucking
got you.
ridiculous.
I got you.
Like I used one with a quiver, and I was like, "This is gonna be great."
Yeah.
Sargrim, I'm definitely gonna be using a crossbow more often.
Oh no. Oh god.
Alright. Throwables. Move your mouse up a little bit, David, if you don't mind.
Yeah, I got you. It says frag grenades, but
Yeah. Frag grenades added new hit effects and animations. So as you'll read, I'm gonna go ahead and just do a quick one over it. But the frag grenade used to have a knockback effect, and the initial blast of the grenade would damage you, and then you landing from the knockback effect and the speed based on how close you were to the grenade would also do damage. Generally, would kill you. So they nerfed that knockback damage substantially. They actually just removed.
took
Never
it
mind, they
away.
removed the knockback.
Yeah,
They
they
removed
took
the
it away.
knockback totally. So now you will not be blown out of cover with a grenade.
The next part is the part I hate. Look at what they did to my frag grenades. Look how
Man,
much
heavier.
heavier those fucks are.
Hey man, people were just fucking Kobe-ing that shit all day every day.
I was
But
stacking
what's funny is
like-
they lowered everything else. It's
Well, they want everybody else to use some of the other ones. The thing is I would have like 10 frag grenades in my backpack at one time and just be like, yes,
What the fuck?
yes. How am I supposed to get chicken dinners with no?
I am all
no 10
for the
frag grenades?
Molotov being lighter. That thing did not go far at all.
Yeah. No, I think it's a good change. It was like, damn it, this is
Yeah.
bullshit.
Yeah, I mean maybe they didn't need to take it from 12 to 18. They might have been able to leave it in the middle.
Oh
or
no,
maybe even
that's
put it.
it's like
Maybe
super
even match it to like the Molotov, like 16.
heavy AF.
But you know, I can't. Well, I'm sure they'll.
It went from being the lightest grenade to the heaviest. Get fucked. But anyways, so character movement stuff. I don't know. It's up to you if you want to read about that, but it does affect the guns since it depends on what gun you're using. You know.
Yeah.
It's another.
Your sprinting. Okay, so your sprinting speed is now affected by equipped weapons.
Yep.
And running affects it. So basically, just based on what weapon combos you have, or whatever you have equipped in your hands, actually, I think is what it's going off of.
Yeah, it is.
Which it already kind of did that. So.
Yeah, but they decrease the speed on like the heavier
LMGs.
guns. Yeah.
So like if you're gonna run with LMG, you're gonna be slow as shit compared to do with a pistol.
Correct.
So, yeah.
Right. So that I think they were just that was another way. It's not really a nerf per se because you put the gun away, but it kind of is a nerf. You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it is. No, because some people always just ran with their ARs. Like they didn't care for that extra 5% speed boost. So
Yeah.
now they gotta kind of be careful which one they have in their hand.
And then they find
removed first shot delay when your character is not sprinting. So basically, if you were walking towards a door, you open the door, but you're still technically like holding W to walk into it. It would take your character a split second or maybe a full second to actually shoot the gun. Whether or not it was fully raised or not didn't really matter, because you'd still shoot the direction you're aiming because it's PUBG. But they reduced that time, or they removed that time, so now you can shoot immediately while walking. But sprinting, you still have to wait to bring your gun up. So I like that. I like that idea because I've lost some gunfights just because I wasn't able to immediately shoot somebody because I'm still technically walking forward or backwards. So yeah.
Yep.
You can now run while chambering around.
Yeah, that's cool. I'm in.
I think it's
It's
maybe.
only. Yeah, it's.
Oh, while aiming down sights, you can still strafe faster while aiming down sights and chambering around. Okay,
Yeah.
I see what it's saying.
And then they changed the aim punch or whatever based off damage now, so that's cool.
Yeah, so basically, if you get hit in the head, your camera will shake way more than just getting hit in like the arm or the body with armor on, just based on how much damage and what kind of weapon you're getting hit with. So that's good. I like that.
And then they
It's
removed
like
level 3 helmets, kind of.
Yep, level 3 helmets are crate only. So are extended quick draw mags, I believe.
No,
for
no.
for
They just
SRs.
They reduced
Oh no,
the.
both. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm talking about for snipers.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah. And they now only spawn in care packages.
I was
Reduce
talking about the next one.
Yeah, reduced the AR extended quick draws, which is good because those things were kind of like a dime and a dozen.
They're
so.
hard as hell to find now. Like I think we found one so far in all the games we played.
I'm okay with that though. Like I think it was just too many of them.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you'd run into like 5 or 6 before you found an AR, and you're like, huh?
Good.
Like what? DMRs now use AR attachments. I am in love with that, along with SR. So you can use either one you want. I like that 100%. I'm okay with this one. And then adrenaline syringes can now spawn alongside random other loot, which I'm cool with that because honestly, having them in crate only didn't really make sense because they weren't that useful.
Well,
I mean,
also
they give you a full boost, but they also run out faster than all the other boosts.
Also, you almost never saw them, so maybe there'll be a use for them after this.
Yeah. I mean, you only see them if people are actually looting crates,
Yeah.
and now you can actually see them on the floor, which is great.
Yep.
Adjusted the casting time of adrenaline surge from 8 seconds to 6, so it's also faster to use now, which is cool as well.
Yep. And then they added a new gun, SLR.
Yep. Haven't seen it yet. Haven't been able to use it yet, so I have no
Pretty
idea.
nice. It's pretty nice. It's
Have not
a
seen
7.62 weapon.
DMR, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
It's more powerful than SKS, so that's all you really know. Recoil control is the key to using the SLR. I haven't really used it, but I've seen it used in some streams. It looks pretty good. We'll have to see
I'm
how it
excited.
goes.
I'm excited to get it one time and see how it works.
They added
Although
a new
I hate high recoil DMRs, so we'll see.
They added a new car, whatever. It probably flips 86 times on a tiny rock still, so I don't care. The bigger thing is the attachments, the new grips. The new grips. They added a bunch of them, but apparently they add all these grips. Light grip is apparently useless. Nobody uses it. Everybody hates it.
Which one? Sorry, the thumb grip?
Light grip.
Oh, light grip. Yeah, light grip is I mean, comparatively.
Like,
pretty bad.
everybi's like, well, I don't know why they put this in the game, because it's
so,
dumb.
the one I'm interested to see in this game, because I used it a lot in Battlefield 4, is duckbill for shotguns. And the way they implemented it, I actually am pretty happy with, because they didn't make it quite as bad as the one in what's it called? Battlefield 4. Potentially what this does is it makes you go from a circle into a very flat horizontal oval for your spread. Makes it extremely good for doing headshots and leg shots, which now that they do more limb damage could potentially be a very useful thing. However, if you miss, like if you go over them, you're not going to get a lucky headshot underneath the target you're shooting at, essentially. So, because it's going to pretty much stay at that vertical level. It's not going to go up or down. It's not as bad. It's not as like severe, I'm sure, as Battlefield 4's is. But I have not tested it yet. But I'm also excited to be able to test it once I find one, because I like that idea. Light grip, useless. Don't use it. That's pretty much the gist of that one. Literally everyone's saying it. Like, I mean, streamers are saying it, regular people are saying it. Like, it's just bad.
Hey, Jiggly, streamers are regular people too.
Get out. Thumb grip, arguably the best one right now.
It's pretty good.
Most people say it is the best because it does a little bit of everything.
It's one of my favorite ones right now.
Yeah, it's definitely nice. Like, it's a really good one.
But to be honest with you, whenever I put a grip on something, like, I don't know. I'm not very technical on the grip side, so I can't really say. But I like it. I do like it. I think it is helping, but I don't know why. It just works
That's
for
fair.
me.
Yeah. Half grip is it's half the thumb grip essentially. I mean, it's okay. It does not do faster ADS. It basically just does everything recoil wise and makes you more steady in between
Less
shots.
steady. It makes you less steady.
Sorry, yeah, less steady.
Yeah.
So your sway will be heavier, but your recoil will be better. It's essentially it's good for, it's a potato grip. If you're gonna use an LMG, it does make your recoil more accurate the longer you're holding down the trigger.
Yeah.
Same with extended mags. So if you got 40 rounds to shoot, your last 10 are gonna be your most accurate. If you're a spray and pray, there you go.
Yeah.
Your last 10 will be
Sorry,
almost
I
on the
heard
money.
spray and pray.
Yeah, you want half grips, my dude. Angled foregrips are pretty much the same as they were. Very, very, very fast aim down sights. But the weapon sways more.
Tarnus wants to get that half grip on his crossbow.
That's right. There you go.
Yeah.
I don't know how he can spray and pray with a crossbow, but he's gonna do it.
You just equip 2 of them. Sway back and forth.
Okay.
Vertical foregrip stayed the same, along with angled foregrip.
Yeah.
I think the vert grip, they increased the recoil. I don't know. It doesn't say. But basically, your horizontal recoil is going to be greatly reduced with this one. However, your horizontal recoil is not going to be affected. So your side to side is going to be pretty bad, but you just go like you'll be able to keep it, pretty relatively low, pretty easily with that one. So.
And then the scopes
then of
we
course
kinda
the 2
talked about.
scopes. So. Yeah.
And you're right.
6 is a
It's
3 to
3 to
6.
6. Yeah.
And that's just like when you're zoomed in, guys. It's just a scroll wheel up and down to go in between them.
Yeah.
I think.
And also they added the extra reticle things.
Yeah, you could change
Which
your
is
reticle
cool.
now, which is kind of cool.
Cool.
I mean, it's not a huge thing. I think you could change the color of it too, between red and green.
Is it gonna be like Call of Duty where I can put a smiley face on my
No.
scope? And
Not that.
I mean, that could
going off a picture of
potentially
my gun?
be a added in later kind of cosmetic thing,
But not
I
yet.
hope to God it isn't.
Well, it only affects the person doing it. It's fine.
That's fair.
Until you watch the kill cam. Anyways, then they added some swimming stuff, which is really rough. Here, let me go down to it. Yeah, here you go. They decreased the maximum submersible time from 35 seconds to 15 seconds. And when you come up for air, it takes 4 seconds for you to start breathing again instead of 1. It's crazy. We were having a swim in one of our games, and there's a huge difference. But
you'll die so fast.
But they definitely wanted that to be a thing because they run a lot of people with people just being in water and like hiding. A lot of problems with people just hiding in the water.
It was bad, especially in the first games condemnation.
Oh, where
I mean,
like the
literally
top
the first
teams just
winner.
hid in the water. Yeah.
Yeah, the first winner just hid in the water the whole time.
Yeah, that was dumb.
And then popped out to get like a lucky headshot or some shit. It was really dumb.
They added map selection. That's 100%.
That's a huge one.
Good.
Yep.
Yeah, there's no negative there to me, in my opinion.
Yeah, the new map hasn't come out yet, but they're still working on it.
Yeah.
It's still in the public test.
Yeah,
servers.
they just put it up on public test again. So.
Yeah, so you can go play the new one. It's called Savage. It's very small. It's a 4x4 instead of a 16x16 or 32x32.
Yeah, it looks like it'll be fun.
32.
Looks like it'll be fun.
Yeah, 4x4. It's very fast paced. Literally like the 2 or 3 areas with buildings. Like when you drop, literally everywhere is a weapon or something to pick up. Everywhere, and every building pretty much has something to pick up as well. So
yeah, we'll see how it goes.
Very high loot. It looks pretty cool. I haven't played it yet, but
and that's really it. They changed some stuff in settings, and like they removed some buildings around in the world, and they changed the layout of a lot of the buildings to make them a little better for looting. But other than that, then I got a list of bug fixes. But
yep.
That's really it. This is a lot of the changes to guns.
The
and
weapon
stuff
skins
like
are
that.
slowly turning into how CS:GO skins are.
That's right.
They're
baby.
getting to be pretty expensive, and they'll just be nothing but more expensive later in the game. So if you guys are skin hoarders, you might as well start now.
Better grab that pan before it goes away, because
Yeah, I still haven't
it's
even gotten
limited,
that damn thing, man.
limited time, man.
I need to like
By the way,
hardcore
did
play
you
one
guys
day.
know that they put a stop on trading for a while?
Yeah, I saw that the other day.
No, they didn't stop the trading. They actually stopped free trading. You can't just give somebody skins now. You have to actually sell them on the marketplace.
Yeah, okay, that's what it is.
You
Because
can't use third-party websites or anything
right,
like that.
because they were having a lot of problems with people using third party and getting hosed. But
That and people would basically make buy a bunch of accounts to get like the 1 or 2 crates super cheap, because it's pretty easy to get 1,400 points or 2,100 points technically, because you need a 714. And then they would open them, get a really good skin, trade it to their main account essentially, and sell it for money to get Steam money. So, and then trade keys back and forth. Like it was a weird thing. So I'm kind of glad they did that. Made it marketplace only. Marketplace only.
yeah,
but, like SkinHub's already like gotten on the PUBG train, and some other skin websites that do buying and trading. So it'll be a thing soon. It already is, but you know.
cool. Well, one last thing we can go over real quick. Does anybody have any news they're excited about? They heard about this week? Anything that's coming out soon, or any new features, or in your favorite game? Anybody got anything they want to mention?
See, taking Bestiary completely out of Path of Exile. Tome of Foes, the RPG supplement for D&D, coming out soon.
Yeah, and I think we're gonna talk about that next week, or we're gonna have a guest as well to come in. And I'm sure we'll talk about that for a little while, for sure. But
Is it your dad?
it's not my dad. Plus,
I
he's not back in town yet, I don't think. But anyways,
Okay.
so
he knows a lot about D&D. I figured he'd be a good
he
guest.
doesn't know anything about 5th edition though.
That doesn't
Cause he's like an old school guy. He's like, new editions
If it
are
ain't
stupid.
D&D, it ain't D&D.
Yeah, I hate everything. I hate all new things. Anyways, so
I only use Thaco.
one thing I want to mention is I missed the release of Midair, which is a Tribes clone, and it looks really badass. I kind of want to play
I'm
it.
sad you missed it, because that means I missed it.
Yeah, it just came out May 3rd, so it's not like we're too far off. 6 days ago, so if you guys like Tribes or Tribes Ascend or whatever and want to play some sweet Tribe stuff, look up Midair. Looks really cool. I'm going to give it a try. It looks, to be honest, it looks like it's a reskin Tribes 1, to be honest. So we'll see how it goes. I was watching them shoot Midair disc and all kinds of stuff. It was pretty neat. So I didn't know about it until just the other day when I was looking at news, and I was like, wow, this is really sweet. So we'll see how it goes, because, you know, it's free to play, so it'll be like a fad for like a week and then be gone probably. But we'll see how it goes. All right, guys. Well, one last thing we want to do, starting every week if we can, and it depends on, you know, if we ever get a following, we would actually help somebody. Obviously, our first week, so we don't have a ton of people watching, but we want to try. I've always been a big proponent of community and hopefully helping people out. Obviously, these guys have their own channels, Jiggly, and you can seeing that their info above their names or above their screen. You see it on the stream. But you know, we're also gonna do like a streamer spotlight section where we just talk about a streamer or just let you guys know about a streamer that we like personally. I'm going to do it for this week, and then we'll probably just rotate because everybody has their own preferences. But I definitely wanted to give a shout out to a guy that's actually helped me a lot, because I don't have any good graphics guys. And so like a lot of the graphics you see on the screen today were made by him, or at least modified by him. And he is a streamer himself. And he streams a lot of, what the hell is the game called with the cars? I'm having a mind blank right now.
Rocket League?
Rocket League, yeah. Official Rocket League. Soccer cars, yeah, that's why I don't remember it, because it's, I always call it Rocket Cars.
Football cars.
Football cars.
Football vehicle.
Footy. I want to go play some footy.
Anyway, so he does a lot of streaming and a lot of whatchamacallit, soccer cars. So and that's official Drano. That's his name, and I'll put his info in the chat so you guys can run over to his channel and check him out, you know, sometime. But he's pretty cool guy, and his streams are pretty cool. So you may want to check him out. And if you need him for any graphics work, hit him up. You know, because he does a lot of really good graphics. He did all his own graphics. They have like their own gaming group too. Here's his Twitch, by the way, and he does the graphics for almost everybody. So he's pretty good at it, and he's pretty quick and cheap, which is not necessarily something I have to have, but it's really nice, you know. So check him out, give him a follow or whatever, and he's a cool guy. And if you like Rocket League, he's a big Rocket League guy. So he playing up there in the high ranking leagues. But other than that, I think that's it. Does anybody have anything else they want to say?
No, not really.
Gimme.
Guys, I appreciate you guys talking with us and hanging out, and hopefully we'll keep doing this. Keep talking about games and what's coming out and news and stuff like that. And I guess we'll probably see you next week, hopefully. So thanks for stopping by, and we'll see you then.
Yep, see ya.
Peace.